Who would you prefer next for Syracuse basketball? August Mahoney, Lucas Taylor, or a third-string center?
You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into Locked On Syracuse. I'm Jackson Holzer, and thank you for making us your first listen of every single day here on the Locked On Podcast Network. We're your team every day, and we're free and available wherever you get your podcasts. And on this week's Poll Friday, I asked the question, who do you prefer most for Syracuse basketball? August Mahoney, Lucas Taylor, or a third-string center? And you guys voted 307 total votes this week on Twitter and on YouTube. And the results are in. The winner with 45% of the votes was August Mahoney. So you guys prefer the sniper from Yale, 45% from 3 last season. But unfortunately, while I agree with you guys that August Mahoney would be my number one target, I asked the question Monday at noon. That's typically when I post the Poll Friday question. And, well, the judge ruled right after, of course, that Ivy League players Chris Ledlum and Jordan Dingle could not play another year of college basketball. If you recall, I did a whole podcast on this week where I'll just summarize it for you guys. The Ivy League canceled its season in 2021 due to COVID, and the players in the Ivy League, like August Mahoney, were suing the NCAA to get another year of college eligibility, and the judge ruled against those players. They ruled that they don't get another year. So August Mahoney is unlikely to play in college next season. Therefore, he can't play for Syracuse. So he's not playing anywhere next year. I explain it more in the podcast earlier this week. If you want to go check that out after this, I'll leave a link in the description below. So anyways, August Mahoney, while I agree, is not really a feasible option for Syracuse basketball next season. So now the focus becomes Lucas Taylor or a third-string center. Here's what you got to ask yourself. Here's what you got to ask. Do you prefer a back-end rotational piece that's probably going to play every single night in Lucas Taylor? Or do you prefer insurance in a third-string center? A third-string center behind Eddie Lampkin and Naheem McLeod is probably not going to see the floor unless it's mop-up duty. That's about it. Or there's an injury. Lucas Taylor, on the other hand, is going to see the floor if he were to commit. But is he going to play that big of a role next season for Syracuse basketball? In my opinion, I would want Lucas Taylor. And the reason for that is because this is someone who is probably going to play for them every single night. He averaged 15 points per game at Georgia State. I don't think he would replicate that at Syracuse next season. But again, I've talked about it with Lucas Taylor a number of times already. If you split the difference between what he did last season at Georgia State and what he did at Wake Forest, you get a pretty solid player. You can get 7 points a game from a backup shooting guard. I think that's valuable. Less pressure on Elijah Moore to have a good year right away. A third-string center, what does that really do? It's insurance. But they're not playing every single night. I do see in the comment section people asking about William Patterson, and I've brought it up. Is it possible he's coming back? Well, according to Mike McAllister, who was on Q Sports Talk yesterday, probably not a feasible option at this point. He said it's unlikely that William Patterson were to return, so he's probably not an option to be a third-string center. Overall, I would prefer Lucas Taylor. The NBA Finals are just around the corner. The Celtics will represent the East, and now we know who's going to represent the West. The Dallas Mavericks, they closed out the Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 last night. So the NBA Finals, Celtics versus Mavericks. Game time. makes getting NBA Finals tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Gametime app actually go down the closer it gets to the tip-off. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Gametime takes the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets. My favorite part is I get to see the view from my seat before I buy. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you purchase. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONCollege, LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Welcome back, everyone, into Locked On Syracuse. I'm Jackson Holzer, and on this week's Poll Friday, I asked the question, who do you guys prefer, August Mahoney, Lucas Taylor, or a third-string center? 45% of the over 300 people that voted said they prefer August Mahoney. A reminder, I post the question usually on Monday afternoons around 12 o'clock-ish. And I post on Twitter and on YouTube, so you guys can vote there every single week. Unfortunately, as I just documented, August Mahoney doesn't appear to be an option anymore due to years of eligibility left. I thought he would have one. He does not. I covered it in a podcast earlier this week. I'll leave the link in the description below. So the question is Lucas Taylor or a third-string center. And I told you guys I prefer Lucas Taylor. I don't think Lucas Taylor completes the roster at all. I don't think he really would complete the backcourt because I think Syracuse is still looking for that starting caliber combo guard. That's what it appears that they're looking for right now. Lucas Taylor is more of a shooting guard, not a combo guard. So Lucas Taylor does not complete the rotation. He does not. But he is someone who I have said is a roster player, more depth. That's what he is. A third-string center is cool. It would be nice, but it is not the end-all, be-all. I want one for sure, but I would rather the player who I know is going to play every single night rather than that third-string center. So that is it for this week's Poll Friday. Just want to give you guys a quick shout-out. Thank you so much. We recently just hit over 2,000 subscribers. It really means a ton, and it helps the channel tremendously. If you like this video, click that like button. And, of course, keep subscribing to the channel. Now, the content over the summer, it's not stopping, guys. It's not stopping. Still have tons of episodes and ideas that I have planned. Want to get more recruiting analysts on here to go over Syracuse in 2025, so I'll be reaching out. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And everyone, have a great rest of your day.